Next, Filipinos are now assigned for the branches of the government. So, executive department, legislative department, judicial department. Are the three departments that represent the branches of the government. So the first one is the executive department. Executive department, it is the institution of that governs the state by implementing laws and creating policies and programs to respond on the needs of the state. Section 1, the executive power shall be vested in a president of the Philippines, meaning to say both executive department and independent agencies carry out administrative function, enforcing, directing, and supervising the implementation of laws made by Congress. Next is Article 6, Legislative Department. So, Legislative Department means that lawmaking institution of the government, also known as the legislature. Section 1, the legislative power shall be vested in the National Assembly. So, the legislative branch enacts the legislation, confirms or rejects the presidential appointment, and has the authority to declare war. This branch includes Congress, the Senate, and House of the Representatives, and several agencies that provide support to Congress. The most important duty of the legislative branch is to make laws. So laws are written, discussed, and voted on in the Congress. So next is the last is yung judicial department. So judicial department is composed of the courts that interpret and apply the laws of the state. According to Article 8. So Section 1, the judicial power shall be vested in a Supreme Court. So and in such inferior courts as may be established by law. So in particular, it would be the protector and the interpreter of constitutional rights. Next is 4. There are a lot of changes. Yes, Philippines now, lots of happen. So marami na talaga mga nangyari. So Section 1, Article 5, Suffrage. Suffrage may be exercised by male citizens of the Philippines not otherwise disqualified by law, who are 21 years of age over and are able to read and write, and who shall have resided in the Philippines for anyone in the municipality, wherein they propose to vote for at least 6 months preceding the election. The National Assembly shall extend the right of suffrage to women if in a plebiscite which shall be held for the purpose within 2 years after the adoption of this constitution, not less than 300,000 women possessing the necessary qualifications shall vote affirmatively on the question. So, meaning to say, di ba, before, ang babae walang power to do everything. So, I mean, wala pa silang right before, but to vote. But now, with the help of 1935 Constitution, with the implementation of 1935 Constitution, now meron na silang right to vote, to do everything because they have the rights now. So, next is Article 3, Bill of Rights. Section 1, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. So now, sinasabi ko nga, each of has an equal rights and to be protected by the law. Also, next is yung Article 13 General Provisions. So, in here, Section 1, the flag of the Philippines shall be red, white, and blue with the sun and 3 stars as consecrated and honored by the people and recognized by the law. So, as we know, now we have own flag. So, which has color white, blue, and red. So, a little trivia that when a color red of the flag comes into the top. So, pag napunta na siya sa unahan or sa ibabaw, it means war. So, and also, we have a law that we need to honor and recognize our flag because as we disobey or hindi pag sunod or pag honored ang ating flag, merong mga laws or consequences na nakaparatang or na pwede mong ah, ma, makuha. So, um, Section 3, the National Assembly shall take steps towards development and adoption of a common national language based on one of the existing native languages until otherwise provided by law. English and Spanish shall continue as official language. So in here, our country can be recognized with its national flag and a national language. Next, 1935 Constitution was interrupted by the events of World War II, with the Japanese occupying the country. But on the other hand, 1946, the freedom, the independence the Filipino really wanted was still granted to them. So, in conclusion, people now in the Philippines are now living free from the colonizer. They are diba, we are colonized by many countries, but we can admit that um, their influence was still present. Like for example, in a Spanish, Catholics, diba? Ngayon we have na doon natin sila namana. So hanggang sa na-embrace na 'yon ng mga Pilipino. And also, they are taking advantage of the invented independence that was granted sa atin. So they have now the language that they can freely speak. So yon, meron na tayong kanya-kanyang lengguwahe. Katulad sa atin, Tagalog. So, wherein, malaya natin siyang nasasabi, malaya natin siyang napapahayag. Then, with the recognition of its own country. So, yon, pag sinabing Tagalog, Philippines. Then, that it has its own flag. Yung, meron na rin tayong sabi kanina, meron na rin tayong sariling flag. So, also, people now have equal rights. Yun, very, very important nowadays to have equal rights, to be protected. Everything including the right to vote and protection of law. So, yun. Meron na tayong rights din to votes. And also, kasi yung to vote, to promote protection sa atin and sa law, sa Philippines. So, as a student, as a student, what I can give is being a good citizen in this country. Kasi lalo ngayon, the election is coming. So gamitin natin yung rights natin na yon to choose who's the best leader to lead our country. Hindi natin pwedeng aksayahin yung boto ng isang natin or kasi um also, ina-advise ko din na be aware sa mga false information. Like ngayon, false information was very rampant kasi we have social media platforms na kung saan maraming mga false information na kumakalat. So, it's better to search, it's better to read, it's better to study what's history o what's the main reason, what's the main happen nung mga panahon na yon. So, or sa mga tao na naganap na yon. So, yon, as a student, as a human being, kailangan talaga natin gamitin yung rights natin na meron tayo ngayon in a good manner, in a good way. So, kasi it promotes well. It promotes betterment sa country natin. That's why it's important to be mindful